So it feels like the right time to talk about what life might look like after COVID.
Yeah.
For those of us who are lucky enough to survive this, and if we haven't lost loved ones or the place we work, we can start to imagine and hope for a time when this horrible pandemic is over. So let me ask you, Bill, when we get the vaccine and everybody's taken it and things go back to normal, what is the first thing you're going to do?
You know, there's some people that it would be so nice to see. You know, we do a lot of our foundation work with Bono, and he's always very affectionate and energetic. And there's some people who on video just aren't as, the emotional connection isn't as strong.
You're going to go hug Bono. That's the first thing you're going to do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's going to be surprised.
What is life going to be like after COVID? Do you think that there's any possibility that we will be like East Asian countries and wear masks when we feel sick or when there's a particular threat? Is there any version of that?
I don't know. In Japan, when you ride the subway, people wear masks, but of course they're crowded together, and Japan has a thing about cleanliness. I don't know if that will spread. It was certainly easier to tell Asians to wear masks than it was to tell Americans or Europeans.
We just have no precedent.
Well, except when we're robbing a bank or something.
What? Do you want to tell me about your past?
No, just in the movies.
Okay.
It looks like. And it's nice. People don't recognize me quite as much when I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah, well, that is one of the benefits. So what do you think in terms of like meetings on Zoom and, people are educating at home? I, for one, don't want to get in my car and go across town for a meaningless meeting, and I hope that I can continue to do that online. But do you think any of these things will stick?
I think just like World War II brought women into the workforce, and a lot of that stayed, this idea of, do I need to go there physically? We're now allowed to ask that. Mm-hmm. If a salesperson is going to a customer, if they said, oh, I just want to stay at home today, so I'll be on your screen, you would have thought, hey, they don't really care about connecting with me.
Right.
And so for the first time, the idea of learning or having a doctor's appointment or a sales call where it's just screen-based with something like Zoom or Microsoft makes Teams, which competes with Zoom.
just
but anyway,
quick plug.
Well, I can't just.
Sorry. Yeah, you got it. I know.
There's great competition, and I think that will change dramatically. I think people will go to the office less. You could even share offices with a company that has its employees coming in on different days than your employees are coming in.
Right.
So even the whole idea of the downtown and traffic and where you can live or designing your house to make it great to be able to...
You think all of that will change because of what's happening right now? Wow.
Yes, and pretty dramatically. And of course, the software was kind of clunky when this all started, but now people are using it so much, people will be surprised by how quickly we'll innovate with the software.
So I believe that human connection is important. I mean, obviously there's some things we can sacrifice, there's some things we don't. I don't feel comfortable going to restaurants and movies yet. When do you think will be normal again, where we don't feel scared to sit at a restaurant or it feels actually relaxing to go to a movie?
There's a phase where we're going to have the numbers be super low in the United States, but it'll still be out in other parts of the world, so you could get a resurgence. And I think a lot of people will remain quite conservative in their behavior, particularly if they associate with older people whose risk of being very sick is quite high. If we get it so it's eliminated from the entire globe, then people are going to start to give you a hard time. Hey, Rashida, we're here at the restaurant,
Not yet,
get
guys.
down here.
I need more proof.
But if it's still out in the world, even the countries that have very little virus are mostly still being very careful about public events because it could get into their country.